Across 6 glorious seasons, you left your mark embodying some of the show's most iconic characters. Excelling across television, film, theater, voice acting, the written word, even pop music videos, you never fail to captivate audiences, no matter the medium. You keep us laughing while unlocking deep thematic truths. The humor in vulnerability, absurdity, and the search for meaning. Along with an astonishing, clever, comedic sense, your innate talent and early experience with loss coalesced into a signature blend of levity and emotional profundity. In the foibles and faults that make us all human, you find compassion. As an esteemed ensemble member, you exemplify collaboration, creativity, cultural impact, and resilience.
Molly Shannon, you are a fearless, spellbinding performer, amassing multiple Primetime Emmy nominations, a SAG Award, an Independent Spirit Award, and critical acclaim the world over. You have lifted our spirits across inimitable performances. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am thrilled to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa. I am pleased to introduce Molly Shannon, who will respond on behalf of the honorary degree recipients.
President Mills, Provost Opico, Board Chair Chesnut, and the Board of Trustees, my fellow honorary degree recipients, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, proud parents, family, friends, and Yankee fans who mistakenly came here to see a game and do not know what the hell is going on. Please join me in congratulating the graduating class of 2025. NYU graduate, so I can tell you from experience that you will remember this day for the rest of your lives. And not just because today you'll face one of the greatest challenges of your life, trying to go to the bathroom in this enormous robe, but also because today you get to do the impossible. You get to see the future. Just look around. You are all that future. Now, history shows us that sitting among you right now are some of tomorrow's greatest inventors, groundbreaking scientists, billionaire business leaders, world-famous artists, engineers, lawyers, doctors, designers, musicians, writers, actors, leaders in every possible field. Which leads to the obvious question, how in the hell did I get in here? Was Martin Scorsese booked? All I did was get famous for sniffing my armpits on Saturday Night Live. Either way, having sat here where you are right now, I know how excited you are, and I also know how scared. Everything you've known up until today is about to change. Yesterday, you took time off and watched TikTok on your couch for a few hours. You were still this promising NYU student. But tomorrow, if you do that same exact thing, you're officially wasting your life. So, how to know is, whatever road you choose to follow, you will hit bumps. It's unavoidable. These bumps are part of everyone's journey. And these bumps will make you doubt yourself, or want to give up, or make you feel stuck, or like a failure, or make you regret choosing to go down that road in the first place. The key is how you react. Possible reactions include ignoring it, crying, screaming, overeating, throwing up, misdirecting your anger at a loved one, posting something you immediately regret posting, seeing a therapist, seeing a bartender, or you might accept an offer to give a commencement speech to NYU graduates imparting sage wisdom, even though we all know that genius Walter Massey, sitting right over there, is a lot smarter than I am, and even helped people win the Nobel Prize. But you get me. So, my advice is, whatever you do after you hit a bump, remember to keep moving. Whether it's forward on the same road, or you choose a new road, you need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move ahead. Because that is the only way amazing things can happen. For example, true story. There was once a young artist who had an idea for a cartoon. So he had a meeting with a big movie executive who listened and told him, "Forget it. Kids are scared of mice, and moms hate mice too. It's never gonna work." That young animator was Walt Disney. And there was a young girl who trained her entire life to be an Olympic figure skater, but then failed to make the US team. She had a nervous breakdown. So she went to Paris to recover and discovered the world of fashion. Her name is Vera Wang. A young reporter in Baltimore was fired after getting her first shot at being a local news anchor. Her name's Oprah Winfrey. Stephen King's first book was rejected 30 times. Dr. Seuss rejected 27 times. And right before the guy who invented Uber became one of the biggest success stories in history, he filed for bankruptcy and had to move back in with his parents. Now my own story is full of bumps too. At 4 years old, I was in a car crash and I lost my mother and one of my sisters. So my dad raised 2 little girls all by himself while trying to learn to walk again. He moved forward and made me feel so loved that I was able to move forward too. All the way to NYU. After my own graduation, I wanted to be an actress, but no one would hire me. Rejected over and over. But I still had to pay the rent. So I did anything I could to stay on the road I had chosen. I sold health club memberships at Park Avenue Squash and Fitness. Park Avenue Squash and Fitness, this is Molly, can I help you? I was a receptionist for a video dating service where I was also responsible for telling people the exact reasons why they were being rejected, which people love to hear. I sold office supplies, which was such a terrible job that I quit by asking if I could go to the bathroom and I just ran away outside. I took phone orders for a bagel delivery company. I worked as a booker for a modeling agency. I was a Nordstrom's fragrance model. I was a food demo girl for Huxtable's liver pate. I was a temp for the Orion television department. I was a temp for the Lake and Giroux literary agency, and a temp at Warner Brothers, and the William Morris agency, and the Creative Artist agency, where I got fired for not rolling calls fast enough. And then I finally got my big break as a waitress. I may have served you and your family food at the following establishments: the Old Spaghetti Factory, the Lion's Head Restaurant, Ed DeBevick's, the Melrose Baking Company, the Horn and Hard Hat Dinomat, the 4 and 20 Coffee Shop, and the last place I ever waitressed was at a restaurant called Cravings, which was famous for their grilled lemon chicken salad. I hate that salad. Because I worked at that restaurant for so long that when I walked down the street, former customers would recognize me and point at me and scream, "Grilled lemon chicken salad!" And that was not how I wanted to be known. To make matters worse, I was still auditioning, but I could not get arrested. No one would hire me. Something had to change. I hadn't just hit a bump. I hit huge potholes and dead-end signs, detour, wrong way, go back. Which leads me to my second piece of advice: embrace who you are. At this point in my story, like many of you, I put a lot of famous people on a pedestal. They had the careers I could only dream of. But eventually, I was forced to let them go. I realized that I had been waiting forever for some casting person to realize that I could be just like them. But the fact is, I was not them. I never would be. But I was me. And I thought, what if I just cast myself? What if I create my own show? So my friend Rob Muir and I got to work, and we made a show with our own unique characters that no one else could play. And we hustled to get people to see it. This was way back before email, so I kept a big box of names and numbers of everyone I ever met, people from all those crazy jobs, people I served as a waitress in all those restaurants, dialing, endless numbers, non-stop, making 500 calls a day to fill the seats. I invited my dentist, my garbage men, homeless people. No joke, I would see them picking up cans, and they seemed so nice that I asked them to come. And I paid for their tickets so I could pack the house. I figured someday the money would come back to me, and they loved it. Eventually, after doing this every day, for what seemed like forever, word got out, people liked my show. And all this made me realize in life, you can be your own secret weapon. You can take charge and stop waiting for someone else's approval to do the thing you love. Approve yourself. Empower yourself. I discovered there's a magical difference between saying, I want to be an actress, and saying, I am an actress. Try that little I am trick with your own dream. Right, Walter Massey? Right, Walter? He knows what I'm talking about. Anyhow, back to my story. So my stage show started to do so well that one day my manager told me, Saturday Night Live called. That might seem like the end of my story, but it is not. Saturday Night Live did not want to come to my show. They just wanted to see a 5-minute tape. So I used up all my waitressing money to make one, and I sent it in. And eventually I heard back. Saturday Night Live passed. Not interested, rejected. I was devastated. I cried and cried. This bump felt like a dream killer. Which leads me to the next piece of advice I wish someone had told me. Sometimes there's a reason you're not getting what you want. Sometimes failure is exactly what we need to grow, although it certainly didn't feel like it that day. But I dusted myself off and decided the only thing I could do was make my show better. So if they ever came back, I'd be ready. So I went deeper. I took notes on what worked, what got laughs, what didn't, adjusting, revising, writing, honing, making every detail sharper, better. And while I did this, I was still auditioning on the side, but getting rejected there too. Yes, I finally embraced who I was, but so far no one else would. Things got so bad, I stopped doing my show, I stopped hustling, I let it all go. Maybe I didn't have what it takes. And of course, that's when the call came. Once again, Saturday Night Live was looking for women, and they asked me for a tape, again. 5 years after I sent my first tape. But this time I was wiser and stronger. This time I was going to do things my way. I said, no, I'm not going to submit another tape. If they wanted to consider me, they would have to come see me perform live. And to my shock, they agreed. So I called up Rob and convinced him to do our show one last minute. We hadn't done it in so long. But all the endless work I had put into it for so many years prepared me for this moment. I was ready. And so they came to the show, and it turned out to be one of the best shows we ever did. And afterwards, Marcy Klein, the head of talent for SNL, told me, Molly, we want you to come to New York to audition for Saturday Night Live. And they flew me to New York. And eventually, I was told, Lorne Michaels, the creator of Saturday Night Live, wanted to meet me. So I walked into his office, and he took one look at me and pointed right at me and said, grilled lemon chicken salad! No. He told me that I got the job, which leads me to my next piece of advice. Treasure your community. Yes, I worked hard, but I could not have gotten there without friends. Your friends and colleagues will be the ones who make all the difference. Someone sitting here, right now, in this community, will probably be the one who tells someone that they should hire you, or partner up with you, or give you a boost at some pivotal moment that you'll never forget. Someone right here who push open that door to success, and I'll prove it. When I was at NYU, I took acting classes and became friends with my classmates. We all auditioned for the same campus shows. One was called The Follies, and I got cast in it. And another student in that show thought I was funny. And after I graduated and was doing all that struggling, I ran into him. And he told me that he got cast on Saturday Night Live. And he said, hey kid, hang in there. You're going to be next. I'm going to help you get on the show, I promise. And he did. His name is Adam Sandler. So treasure your friends. My last piece of advice is this. We all have dreams. We all have some idea of a better place we wish we could be. And we think, one day, if I struggle enough and finally get there, then I'll be happy. And you will be. The end. No, just kidding. The thing I've discovered is that most people I know who did get to that special place almost immediately start focusing on the next place they want to be, the next goal. And they start struggling all over again. So I'd like to suggest that struggle itself can be meaningful. So few people have the privilege to pursue a dream. Most are just trying to pay their rent. So if you're able to simply try to make a dream real, not only are you lucky, you're already a success. Not that you should give it everything you've got. I'm just suggesting that you allow yourself some happiness along the way, not just when you reach your goal. Enjoy the experience of creating yourself. Speaking of that, let's enjoy the fact that we are in Yankee Stadium, home of so many champions. Baseball sums up everything I said. We all want to hit a home run, but life's full of singles, doubles, foul balls, strikeouts, and we all occasionally drop the ball. But not today. Nope. Today your dream comes true. Today you graduate. Each of you hits a grand slam home run in Yankee Stadium, baby. Today, you, my friends, are all stars.
staff, trustees, family, and friends. It is my deep honor and pleasure to be with you today as we celebrate this momentous chapter. In the few minutes we have together, I'd like to talk about happiness. Though it is one of the most significant elements of our lives, it is all too often neglected in favor of ambition and achievement. As we are all scholars, let us start with what the research tells us. The longest running study on happiness began in 1938